Hi, this is Steve in my workshop in Bellevue. This is assignment 1-6, Bevels and Chamfers, in your Shops with Mark 47520 self-study course. Today on Bevels and Chamfers, what we're going to do is we're going to cut in the edge 2 pieces of board, 45-degree bevel, like you see here. And so that they will fit together, just like that, to form a 90-degree angle. And then we will also cut chamfers, which are 45, but we don't do through the whole edge, we just do partially through the edge to soften for that. So those are the 2 cuts we're going to do in this one. But to do this, we need to, first of all, we need to make sure that our machine, that the stops for the 45 degrees for the bevel, is accurately set up. So if you'll get out your written instruction and follow along with me. Of course, we want to have for our materials we want to have our mark machine already still set up from completing the last assignment. And you want to have 1 collar on the table tube. So like you see right here, we've got 1 stop collar there. You want to have your 2 pieces of tongue and groove from your last assignment. You want to have both those pieces. You want to have the assignment previous to that, we did grooves with the 3 slots on it. You want to make sure you have your ear protection, your push block. Here's my ear protection right here. Let's see here. Featherboard, got that right here. Push block, got that right here. Combination square right here, and I got a pencil right here. So that's all they listed there in the items required. So if you just follow along with me at the bottom, first thing it says remove the fence, featherboard, table saw insert, riving knife, and upper saw guard. So we're going to take all that off. So this comes off. I'm just going to set this over here for now. Take the upper saw guard with riving knife off. That's going to come off. This will come off. Now we will remove the table insert. Goes down below, I think, so I'm going to do on there. Goes down below. Raise the table to maximum height and lock it. There we are. And now I'll close the lower saw guard chute. And completely next to the blade, lock the 2 knots. Alright. Move the carriage of the motor to the right, and your wave tubes lock the motor carriage. So you're going to unlock the motor lock, unlock your carriage lock, and just slide both of those all the way far to the right end here. And then we'll lock the carriage lock and lock our motor lock. Loosen the quill lock, advance the quill so the blade is close to the right side of the opening of the table, then lock the quill lock. So we're going to advance this. We want to be as close to this side of the opening as we can. And then we'll drop the table down. But before I do that, we're going to tilt this over to 45. So I will undo my trunnion lock, and I'm going to do it all the way till it hits the stops, 45-degree bevel stops, and I will lock that trunnion. Now I'm going to look here. Now I want to drop this table. I can move that blade over just a little bit more. There we go. I'll move that over to about right there. Okay, now we'll drop the table. Let's see what's keeping it from going down. Something's keeping from this going from down. Let's see what it is. And retract that quill a little bit here. All right, there we are. Now let's lower this down.
Oh, it's your silver thing over here.
Let's see what's keeping it from going down here. Let's see.
Is it that
Oh, here we go. This under here is keeping it from going down. Let's move that back over here. Try it again here. All right, that's as far as that wants to go down.
It's the silver thing over here.
There's a silver thing over here? What silver thing are we talking about? This?
Uh-huh.
Oh, but that's not even hitting yet. Let's loosen the stop collar there. Okay, just to make sure. Okay, there's that there. Let's see if I can advance the quill any. I think that's just about as far as I can advance that. Let's see. Okay. That's as far as I can do that. Let's raise this table just a little bit. All right. Let's see if we can advance that quill anymore. There we go. Now let's look at our instruction sheet. So the bottom of the table was just above the arbor on the right side of the table. All right. So let's see how we're doing. So we need to raise that just a little bit more. There we go. Now the bottom of the table is just above the arbor. Now I did this lesson and wrote it about 6 months ago, so that's why I'm reading the instructions. Okay, there we are. That's locked now. Place the 45-degree linear combination square head on the table on the right side and check the angle to see if it's correct. So we're going to take the blade out of our combination square here. We want to put this leg right here. We want to move that right up against, holding it firmly on the table. And if this is, if your stop is correctly set, along the entire length here of your combination square, it should be touching the body of your blade, and it is on this one. So mine is perfectly set. If yours is not touching all the way along here, then you're going to have to adjust your 45-degree stops, which I'll show you where those are located. They're in your instructions, but I'll show you on here. So let's raise this up. And I'm going to loosen the trunnion here. Turn this way. And these two bolts here, those are your stops for your 45 degrees. So if yours is not perfectly in alignment, then you'll have to adjust those until it is. And so once you've done that, then you've got it perfectly aligned. And so we're going to put this back here for now. And now we'll go ahead and put our insert back in place. Okay, that's set. I'm going to lower the table a little bit. And now I want to center that blade in this slot here. So I will retract the quill till it looks centered. Looks centered about right there. I'll go ahead and drop this. That's coming up through. And well, I need to put it back the other way. It's not quite exactly centered. Yeah, that's a little better right there. And now I want my height of the blade above the table to be such that my stock is, so I need the blade to be about 1/4 inch above this when it's retracted properly. So we'll retract the blade some more. And there, that's it, about right there. That's about 1/4 inch there. So that gets our blade height. I've got my blade height set correctly. I'm going to go around the other side. I'm going to put that stop collar down to the bottom. Here we are. And now we'll go ahead and put our upper saw guard with riding knife on. That is set up now. Now I'm going to take my fence and I'll put that over on this side. I'm just going to put it level with the edge of that slot right there for now, for position. And here we are, set up to do our bevel cut. So let's look on here. So in the next segment, I'll be making those 2 bevel cuts for you. Some of you may have had questions on why I removed this insert and do the check on the accuracy of it. Because the reason I do that is because I want to have this engineer square as much of the surface on the table surface itself rather than being on the insert. We want it to be aligned in relation to the table, not the insert. So that's why we do that. And so the best way to get the most of this being on the table is to remove that and advance it all the way over to this side. And that way we also get as much as this being in contact with the blade as well. Now, I like using the combination square because they're engineered. If you get the high quality ones, like from Starrett, they're going to be accurate within a thousandth of an inch. Another option is, some of you may have these drafting triangles. I caution you to be careful when you use these because the angles here are not always accurate. Now, I have this drafting triangle here, which is supposed to be 45 here and 45 here and 90 here. But I've checked all three angles and only one of them is accurate. This is the only one that's accurate to 45. That's not an exact 90 and that's not an exact 45. So that's a caution. To use this one also, you have to use it on this side, and I don't really like doing that because then I don't get as much of the leg in contact with the blade. So I like to do it from this side. Now there's another tool you could use, and that's, you might have a, this happens to be a Shinwa Japanese 45 angle, and this is a good alternative because you get plenty of contact here with the table, and you also get plenty of contact with the blade. So, but most of you are just going to have this. This is what you're going to have as your option, and that's why I've written the instructions to do it that way. Okay, so moving on to cutting our bevels, we're going to, on the tongue one, you should have marked 45 bevel on that edge, and on your groove, same thing, you want to have 45 bevel marked on that because that's we're going to cut 45 bevels now. So let's get out your written instructions again. Follow along with me. And let's see here. All right, put the table back. We already put the table insert. We already adjusted the quill. We've already done this. We've already done the upper saw guard. We've already locked our table. We've got that height that we want properly on there. So I'm on page 4 now at the top. We've already written the 45 degrees on there. Install the riving knife over saw guard, and now we're going to do the feather board. So when we adjust this fence, we want it so that this edge here is going to be slightly on the table insert on this side of the blade, because we don't want to have our cutoff piece dropping down in here between the blade and the space in there. So that's why if you have it right flush with your edge of the slot there, it's probably going to be darn close to being right where you need it to be. It doesn't have to be exact, but as long as when we feed this through, again, I can see here this corner is going to fall on this side, and let's check our one for the groove also. Make sure that one's going to do as well. And this one, yep, same thing. That's good. All right, so let's get out our feather board, put that on there. On our slot. Again, we want to have it so it's forward of the blade. And putting a little bit of pressure against that board. You know, gravity's going to do most of it here, so you don't have to have very much pressure on this for this feather board. That's pretty good right there. All right. Okay. You should already have your stop collar on the back side, the bottom there. And now we're going to perform the 7-step safety check. So let's go ahead. We'll check our motor lock. our quill lock, our trunnion lock, our carriage lock, our motor height lock. We've got nothing on the auxiliary spindles. The wheels are up. Machine's perfectly firmly on the floor. Now let's remove all this extraneous stuff from the weigh tubes here. Here's my hearing protection. I'll put those under there. We're going to use this push block to push it through. And let's see. Now I'm on page 5. All right, use the push block, push the socket past the motor. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and plug in our machine now and turn on the power. I'm going to hook up my dust collection now. There's that there. And there. All right, so now I'm going to put on my safety glasses. And we'll go ahead and make this cut. After we do this one, then I will do the one on the other piece. All right, turn on our power. Okay, that says 3550 RPM. We'll turn on dust collection. We'll turn on the machine. So here's our two bevels, and as you can see, they fit perfectly clean. Straight line there, perfect right angle. So that's our bevel cut, and the next segment we're going to cut 2 chamfers. Now for our last segment, we're going to cut 2 chamfers on the edges of this board. You want to have the board that you did the 3 grooves on. On the opposite side, you want to write the word chamfers. And the groove side will be up, chamfer side will be down. Now you notice here in the end here, I've drawn a line here, and along this edge of 2, that's 3/8 of an inch down. I just took my combination square and marked that line. And that's what we're going to use for setting up for our chamfer. We want to have the fence set so that the tooth on this side of the blade is just touching the line. We want it just touching that line that we've drawn on there. And that's where I have that set right now. And I don't know if you want to bring the camera around here so you can show this. Come around this side of the table, walk all the way around. We'll show it on this side here so they can see what I'm talking about. So you can see right there, you can see, and I'll do a close up on that for you a little bit closer. You can see that's how we want that set up when we do that. So we'll bring that back out and we'll go back around the other side of with the camera, and then I'll cut this for you. So you set up on the camera now? All right, so we're going to reset our feather board here. So we're going to do a chamfer on both edges, so after we cut this one, then we will rotate the board around and we'll do that other edge as well. So let's put the upper saw guard down. And we'll go ahead and do this. So there's our two chamfers. They're on the edge. So that's the end of this assignment. See you on the next one.